Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards have announced the Game of the Year nominees. There is no Ghost of Yotei. What they did nominate was Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And as far as the games that I've played out of what's on this list here, I'm like, yeah, makes sense. These are the Game of the Year nominees. It totally lines up. But I'm happy to see Expedition 33 on the list. And I'll start it off with this. I'm confident it will win, regardless of what else is on that list, up to and including Death Stranding 2. Because we all know Kojima's really close with Keighley, but still, I think Expedition 33 was just transcended gaming culture and became like a movement almost this year. And looking back through time, people are going to remember the Expedition 33 movement that happened in 2025. So I said the other day, what's your game of the year 2025? For me, the choice has never been more obvious. Expedition 33. And I remember Vardark saying this is the best game she's played in the past decade. And I'm like, no, that's ridiculous to say that right now. Like, that's 10 years of games. And she's like, what was better than it in the past 10 years? And I'm like, give me a second here. Okay, maybe it is not just game of the year, but game of the past 10 years. It's insane how good this game really was. And something that stood out to me, 50% of the games nominated to win Game of the Year in 2025 at the Game Awards are from technically indie developers. I asked ChatGPT, I was like, of the games nominated, what percent are considered indie studios? And it goes through the list of games. Out of the 6 titles, the ones I would classify as indie studios are Hades 2, Supergiant Games, indie studio, Team Cherry for Hollow Knight Silksong, indie studio, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Sandfall Interactive, appears to be an indie independent studio. That's 3 out of 6. Philip Chen, Expedition 33 is gonna sweep. But what makes me happier is that both Arc Raiders and Ghost of Yotei were not nominated for Game of the Year, which I know that's going to piss off a lot of people with the snubs. The expectations of Arc Raiders was going to be the sleeper that no one saw coming at the very end. Didn't even get the nomination. Sandfall Interactive on X. What? Here's a look at the most nominated games at the Game Awards. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is the most nominated game in the Game Awards history with 12 nominations. And if you told me that the Game Awards come and go and Expedition 33 wins all 12 of them, I'd be like, yeah, okay. I could see it. Makes sense. I don't know if they're counting nominations for the actors and actresses from the game in multiple categories in the same category, if those count as 3 when there are 3 of them in there, or if they're just categories. It could theoretically still win 12, which would be insane. Pyro says, this cracked me up. I think in a way, Expedition 33 needs to win Game of the Year. It brought back turn-based gaming from the dead and made the French likable. History was made this year. Jay Viper, friend of the channel, who says, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and it's not even close, will likely win just about every single award it's nominated for. And I think it will. I think it is going to be one of those nights where people just get like, oh my God, Clair Obscur again, a Clair Obscur again, like over and over and over. I would assume that's, if that doesn't happen, I think people are going to be surprised. Dr. Disaster, another friend of the channel, says, lol, Yotei didn't even get a nomination. Quote tweeting Endymion, the Game Awards official Game of the Year nominees. Obviously, Clair Obscur is going to win no matter what. Let's be for real right now. But the fact that game didn't get nominated, laughing my ass off. And speaking of that game, I said, boy, that Yotei crowd is mighty quiet right now. I didn't see many people crying about it. I was fully expecting there to be a lot of backlash. There was some, but for the most part, just very minimal. Almost like they understood that they were the minority and were like, you know what? This is how we take an L. We just don't say anything. Mr. Philip Chan, if Ghost of Yotei made Atsu look like this, the game would have been nominated for Game of the Year. This is his very viral post. I think this had millions. Yeah, 62 million views. Holy shit, Phil. Way to be, bro. It's amazing what breasts can do to make a post go viral. I mean, not necessarily wrong either, by the way. Prize Pick Esports. Ghost of Yotei pulling up to the Game Awards. This cracked me up. It's a quick 17-second clip. This is Ghost of Yotei at the Game Awards.
Whoa, now. It is staff only food.
This is staff only food. Whoa, now.
I don't know where they got wherever y'all eating. I don't know. But this staff only. You can ask him, you can ask everybody up there.
They told me to come to cater.
It's staff only.
This is staff only.
It's staff only.
It's staff only. This needs to go viral.
I don't nobody touch this.
It's staff only. This is the first in the gen where first-party PlayStation game did not make it into Game of the Year nominees. Their first-party games have been going downhill this gen with the poop emoji, which again, I've been trying to say with what they did to Yotei. Like, you did this to yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself. But, you know, there are some people trying to push back. Nicola, who I have muted, but people sent me messages saying, dude, this guy's trying to drag you right now. I was like, he didn't even tag me. He said, this one's going to make Smash JT's hemorrhoids explode. Erika Ishii nominated for Best Performance at the Game Awards. I literally don't care, bro. Like, if she may win, I think that'll be bullshit. But I mean, it's also the Game Awards. It will actually speak volumes for how far the Game Awards needs to keep going if it's going to turn around. I don't think she's going to win. I said, you could at least buy some of my tea if you're going to occupy so much free real estate. And I linked the Smash JT website. That's smashjtea.com to get your matcha. And then I just did a little quick edit of a photo. This is a real picture of this dude kissing his PlayStation. I just had the picture of Erika Ishii put on there for him because I feel like if he really likes his PlayStation that much, then he's going to love kissing an Erika Ishii version of it. It's funny though, and shout out to Alucard for this one. Sucker Punch Productions. We're so honored that Ghost of Yotei has been nominated for 7 categories for the Game Awards. Not Game of the Year, bitch. Huge thank you to our community for always support. This is going to be a gut punch to them. This is going to be showing up being like, oh, this is awkward. We're here and we're not getting nominated for Game of the Year. Like damn, reality check. Vote here, please vote for us, even though we're not a Game of the Year award. Alucard, you'll lose all of them to either Expedition 33 or Death Stranding 2. Hold this L. Detective Seeds saying, Norman Reedus not being included here is a big miss, which I would agree, by the way, for best performances in a game. I haven't even played Death Stranding 2, and I'd say that's a big miss. Just based off the people that I do know have played it, saying that it's an incredible experience. How the hell is he not here? But Erika Ishii is. His performance in Death Stranding 2 was incredible. It says all nominees for best performance at Game Awards 2025. Ben Starr for Verso, Charlie Cox for Gustav, Erika Ishii, Atsu, Jennifer English, Mael, Kanatsu Katu for Hinako, and Silent Hill F, which again, Troy Baker, Indiana Jones. I mean, that's just weird. Norman Reedus is not nominated. Did they forget? How could he forget? That's his buddy. At least Kojima's his buddy. It's very strange. We got a lot of people coping about snubs, and some of the funniest snubs that you'll see. This one cracked me up. This Steven, Ghost of Yotei, that's literally his name on Twitter. Like, what a shill. We literally have it in your name. South of Midnight is a gigantic snub here for best art direction. South of Midnight, bro? Really? South of Midnight? We're going to be saying this game needs to be there? Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. You know who's coping, by the way? It's not just Sucker Punch. It's also Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed. We're honored that Assassin's Creed Shadows has been recognized with a nomination for innovation and accessibility. They got the TARD Award. That's all they got nominated for? The TARD Award? Accessibility is something we're deeply committed to. And acknowledgement means a lot to our team. Congratulations on your, what was it, $350+ million allegedly game. You got nominated for accessibility. This is legit the participation trophy. Oh shit. You're going up against South of Midnight and fucking soccer. Next time, try harder to be nominated for a category that means a bit more. This is the equivalent of a participation award. One nomination, and it's the games for accessibility category, i.e. the Gales for retards category. Oh, shit. Way better than Yotei. Congrats. It's stuff like this that cracks me up. Geralt of Rivia. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is nominated for Game of the Year. The first game was not nominated for anything because it was too based. All they had to do for the second to get nominated was make it gay and lame. Hope it was worth it. Maybe you could say that Warhorse Studios was pushed to doing this to make sure that it would get a nod because they had everything else in the game. They had to go this extra step. But then you're like, well, the other games don't have this in it and they got nominated. So I don't know. Just makes me wonder how much it had to do with it and how desperate they might have been for it. I have not played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 yet. I do plan on getting to it at some point in my copious free time. But in the meantime, it's been game after game after game of just hysterical coping if you're not Expedition 33 across the board. Alucard says, Ghost of Tsushima was nominated for Game of the Year. Ghost of Yotei wasn't. It's obvious why that's the case. I'm so glad you brought this up because I had people that were trying to talk about like, oh, well, Tsushima didn't win Game of the Year either, bro. And I'm like, at least it was nominated. Yotei wasn't even nominated. What's that say? What a fall off. Holy shit. You go from nominated, and many would argue should have been Game of the Year that year, to Yotei not even being nominated. It sure speaks volumes. I find it it's going to be very interesting to see what transpires once the Game Awards happen.